So Adam, a bit of a nervous one, but a very important win, 2-1 against Brightlingsea. We rode our luck at times a little bit, we put under pressure, but we held on to secure what can only be described as an important 3 points. Sum up your reaction to that game, I suppose.
It was the overall performance, I felt, for an away from home game against a team in and around us was quite good. We didn't probably offer as much going forward as we had in other games, but I think defensively we looked quite solid. We scored at important times in the game, and probably at the end, if we'd have taken the chances we had, we may have stretched that margin by a little bit more.
I mean, you could tell right from the get-go how important a result was for not just us, for Brightlingsea as well. They're in the same situation as us, fighting for every point that they can get. Considering we've had a difficult time on the road this season, I think our last home away win, our only one for that matter, was at the start of the season against Herne Bay. Do you think a result like this, particularly after the losses to Canby and Potters, and obviously the situation what happened against Horsham, do you think a win like this can give a real confidence boost to the team in that locker room right now?
Yes, I think so. Off of a couple of defeats, I think you need to get back winning as quickly as possible, especially where we are in the league and with the remaining games coming thick and fast. You want to try and build momentum where you can. So it was important for us to get back winning. I think Brightlingsea made it very difficult. I think that at home their record's really strong. I think they beat Bishop Stortford here a few weeks ago, and they make it very difficult. They work extremely hard for their manager. They've got some good players, good threats going forward. So we knew today was going to be a very difficult game. We set up, I think, to make things really difficult and limit the chances they had, which I think worked quite well. And like I say, it's a results-driven business, and we got the result we wanted today.
I mean, obviously, we knew before the game we were going to be out the services of Jordan and Mason through suspension. And obviously, as we all know, Kaimani suffered that injury he did against Horsham, and his season's obviously is done. So we've seen a lot of new faces in the lineup today. Considering that perhaps they've not had as much time to train and gel with the lads as they'd ideally like, how did you feel they fared with what was a big game for both sides?
Yeah, I think from where we were last Saturday, I think Loz has had COVID, so he came back. He hasn't trained all week, but came back for this game. You've got a new goalkeeper in Harry, who I thought done really well. You've got Parts having his first start, probably for 3 or 4 months out. You've got Jack, who came in this week, who probably hasn't had a lot of football. So, and Westy came back. So you've probably got five of the starting 11 that haven't really trained or haven't played a lot of football recently. So to have them come into the game today in the magnitude of the game and put the effort that they put in, I think was a real testament to them as individuals.
And obviously, a word from Marcel, he's got the penalty in the or he scored the penalty rather in the second half. Considering he's probably without the services, obviously Kaimani's unavailable for a while. Rory's got his hamstring issue, so the service he's used to having isn't there, but he's soldiered on as you'd expect a player like Marcel to soldier on. He's got himself his goal. The penalty ultimately proved to be our winner. He's given our 2 current top goal scorers on the shelf for a period of time now. How important is it now for Marcel that he's the one that steps up to that mantle and starts bagging more on the ball, but bagging generally?
I think Marcel sets his standards really high. I think he works extremely hard for the team. I think when he works that hard, he will get goals, but also he makes goals. And again, when you look at probably 6 weeks ago, he was out injured, so he's probably still gaining some match sharpness and that. But like I say, I think he knows he needs to get goals for us, and they come as a premium. And I think, to be fair, Mars deserves the goal he got today for the efforts he puts in every game. And I believe as we have players returning from suspension and injury, that more opportunities we get other players more match fit, that chances will come for him, and I back Marcel to take those chances.
Just to finish, obviously, as much as we want to celebrate a hard-earned victory today, it's a quick turnaround given the amount of exponents we've had in the past. We're going in on Tuesday, big derby game. against the Margate side that find themselves in a position in the league that they certainly wouldn't want to have been in. So it's going to be another one like today where both sides really want those 3 points. Is it more of the same for this one? I suppose those players coming back from suspension give you a bit more of a selection headache. What are you looking for your side to take into that one after a victory like this?
I think what we're looking for, I felt like our performances, or we feel like our performances at home have, probably 2 games ago were quite strong, and recently maybe the performances have slipped a little bit at home, and we need to get back to where we were a couple of games ago at home, where we were pushing really good teams and we were getting the results our efforts deserve. Now Margate, they've had a change of manager. I know Ben and Prez over there, they're 2 really hard working people, and they'll want to be looking at us, which I think, I'm not from the area, but I think it's a little bit of a derby game, to come to us and take points, because if they can take points off that pushes them further away from it. On the flip side of that coin, we're looking to try and take points for them to try and move ourselves a little bit closer as to where they are. But whatever happens, I think Kev and myself have said each week we just try and relate on our performances. Can we attain the levels that we set for the players and collectively as a team? And when we set those levels, we normally get positive outcomes. And again, Tuesday night we'll set up our system the way we want to play. There might be some changes, there might not, but what we've got now is a good strength and depth that maybe we didn't have last Saturday, and it's healthy to have competition for places, and we'll need the whole squad through this period, because I believe we've got a game every Saturday, Tuesday, all the way now for the next 3 to 4 weeks. So if we want to be successful, we're going to have to rely on all squad members through this time, and so it's a good opportunity for everyone really. We can't rely on a set 11, we're going to have to rely on the 16, 17 players that we've got. Everyone will get an opportunity and everyone can play a real big part in what we achieve this year.